What's up, everybody? We got episode 4 of DARYL, DIXON, the Book of Carol this week, but before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here so you don't miss out on any future breakdowns or reviews. With that being said, let's get into the episode. We picked up right where episode 3 left off last Sunday as Jeanette lasers all the prisoners, or whatever they were, to her to turn them into her super walkers. Carol takes cover behind some big dogs, but she still gets hit with the serum dart, which doesn't kick in as she does get it out fast enough. I thought this was going to be a crazy start, like sacrificing Carol, but they saved that moment. Well, both moments kind of in separate ways that I thought was going to happen here for a little bit later in the episode. Anyway, Carol makes her escape as the Superwalkers start to reanimate, and she helps Cadron out too during this, after he told her where DARYL was last week. Jeanette blows the door open at the aisle, clearing the way for Carol and her walkers, as once again, Carol escapes as Cadron buys her time for his newfound ally, claiming he did this and let our group go all the way back in Season 1 for the boy, Laurent. On the mainland, as the chaos breaks out, we see Lasong interrogating Isabel. Every now and then, you see his cracks in his belief for this cause, but he seems to be bearing that as it might be his last hope on Earth. He even goes as far as stabbing Isabel in the stomach, to be fair, after she slashed him across the face. The show did start to push my suspension of disbelief to the limits here too, as Isabel limps her way through the halls with the invasion reaching the commune. But Carol's in there too, as she cracks a wicked axe throw and pops another one of Jeanette's soldiers before finding Isabel and saving her from a walker. Then we see a scared kid making a run for the cell down in the showers, only to find DARYL, and he ends up letting him out as DARYL goes straight for his weapons and just goes ham on everything alive and dead in the hallway. Everything except for Carol, as we get a reunion between the pair. DARYL can only have so much good as this reunion, though, comes with the loss of Isabel. After their brief embrace, the pair went to find her, and she was on her last leg, as DARYL, at the very least, got to have a final moment with his new girl. After that, he shuts Carol out as he's solely focused on finding Laurent and getting him to safety. But at the same time, she is very much keeping him grounded during that search for the boy. Their search leads them to a home protected by walkers, where we meet an elderly couple, as they say that Falu and Laurent already came through there, and that they gave them a car and some food seemingly, but it all seems just too good to be true, especially after Carol's experience in Greenland. But then we spent some time there. Carol hears about DARYL and Isabel as the old lady thinks that she is Isabel. Carol and DARYL, they still have some issues, some tension going on too, and then Carol has some more Sophia PTSD before the old lady comes to her aid, and this scene right here specifically is what really took my guard down during the episode. And on top of that, what really made me trust them was the first time Jeanette's men come, and the old man, I believe his name was Theo, hides them and seemingly just sends the men away. However, he sold them out at that moment as Jeanette and her men arrive the next morning. Luckily, our lovely old lady is there to help, and she is in fact a great person still. She hides our duo and then drops the bar, comparing Jeanette to Nazi soldiers who came searching for the children during that time. But being the survivors they are, DARYL and Carol have to jump into action, and Carol gets herself caught after saving the couple's lives. DARYL, he of course comes back and saves her too, as the pair use Jeanette's serum on her, and we see what would have happened if Carol didn't get that dart out as quick as she did earlier in the episode. It's not a pretty sight. They return to the kitchen, where the old lady had unfortunately been shot, and so they help bury her before they leave. DARYL, he finally does open up here towards the end too, expressing his true feelings for both Isabel and Laurent, as Lasang takes over in Jeanette's place back at the aisle, with both crazy sides now coming together. I thought that was another solid episode for the show. Obviously, the reunion of Carol and DARYL was amazing, and I think I probably would have loved this episode regardless of what happened, just because Norman and Melissa are just too good together. And so that'll do it for my breakdown of episode 4 from DARYL DIXON, The Book of Carol. We got our mid-season hit with the death of Isabel, and that's going to throw an interesting spin on this story, at least I think. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode, though, down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.